If you feel unmotivated to do anything after spiritual awakening, that's because you are in this limbo stage. Spiritual awakening has caused you to step out of your mind's perspective, your old way of looking at the world, but you haven't fully connected to your spirit perspective yet. On one hand, you begin to realize that, hey, all these things that I've been chasing, like money, success, career, relationship, they feel kind of meaningless now. You start to see how these goals were shaped by cultural and societal conditioning rather than coming from your own authentic desire. They were things that you were told were important or good for you, but they no longer align with who you have become spiritually. The hobbies and activities that used to excite you, even the friendship and social circle you used to enjoy, may no longer bring you joy anymore. It's not that these things are bad, it's just that they no longer resonate with the person you are evolving into, so they feel kind of shallow and superficial. Yet on the other hand, you don't know what truly excites you or bring you joy from your spirit perspective. You haven't uncovered what resonates deeply with your heart and soul yet. You haven't fully embraced the spiritual perspective. You know what you don't want, but you don't know what your soul wants. So you feel kind of lazy, lost, and uninterested in everything around you. And that's okay. It's actually quite normal. Many of us who have been through spiritual awakening, we have experienced this before, especially in the beginning of our journey. It's like you're standing in the doorway with one foot in the spiritual realm and the other still planted in the egoic realm. Your spirit is calling you to step fully into this new perspective. It's calling you to come here, come here, come here. Here is where the joy, love, and passion is. But your head is still turned towards your ego, making it hard to hear what your soul is saying or calling you to. You see, your ego is a master storyteller, always creating dramas and spinning narrative to keep you hooked. It's always working behind the scenes, creating tension where there doesn't need to be any. Think about it. If you don't feel like doing anything and you simply allow yourself to do nothing, there will be no struggle, right? You will feel at ease because you're aligned with your present state of being. If you feel like doing something and you do it freely without resistance or overthinking, there will also be no struggle. You are flowing with your natural energy and desires. The problem only comes when your ego sneaks in. For example, if you don't feel like doing anything and your ego whispers something like, oh, you should be doing something. There must be a purpose in your life. You can't just sit there and do nothing. You're wasting your life. You're wasting your time. But or you think something like, I don't want to work, but I have to pay the bills. I really don't want to work, but I really have to pay the rent. I have a family to feed. If I don't work, what are they going to think of me? I think I'm falling behind. I've been lazy. Everyone else is working harder than me. I need to find a job, but I don't know what to do. The jobs out there are killing my soul. I couldn't interact with others anymore. People are just so shallow. I don't resonate with them. I really don't want to work. Maybe I'll be a coach. Maybe I'll write a book. Maybe I can help people and be self-employed. But wait, people are not coming in. I have no clients. I have no money. What's the point of working so hard? It's all meaningless. Life is empty. Everything's an illusion. Why do I have work for money? I just can't do anything after spiritual awakening. The ego is so great at creating drama and spinning all this narrative. No wonder we feel so restless, depressed, and lethargic after hearing all this. So, what can we do? First of all, you have to understand that your spirit will not stop calling you to the higher perspective and higher vibration. It will never say, I can't do anything after spiritual awakening. Because those words, I can't, put you in a vibration of powerlessness. And your spirit is creative, abundant, and joyful. You will never use words that puts you in a powerless or fearful vibration. That is your ego speaking. Second, since your spirit is never going to give up on you, what you need to let go of and give up is your ego perspective. You have to let go of thoughts and the stories that aren't serving you and not believe everything that your mind tells you. You know, it's like watching the old cartoons such as Tom and Jerry. They always have this angel and devil sitting on their shoulders, like whisper in their ears and telling them what to do. You need to choose who to listen to. Instead of using words like I can't, use words like I choose. I choose to do something, or I choose not to do anything, and just line out with what you have chosen. Choosing gives you a sense of freedom. It makes you feel empowered, which matches with the vibration of your soul and your spirit. If you choose to do something, do it mindfully. If your egoic mind starts reacting and saying things like, oh, you shouldn't be doing anything in your life, there's no meaning, those people are still trapped in the conditioning, I'm not going to be like them, recognize that it's just your ego speaking. Your ego is very good at using your spiritual knowledge and using it against you. That is what we commonly call the spiritual ego. When your ego is speaking like this, don't judge yourself or engage with it. Simply acknowledge it and let it go. Drop the narrative and bring your attention back to what you're doing in the present moment. And if you choose to not do anything and your ego is like, you should be doing something, take a moment to pause. Sit with this feeling of restlessness. Don't try to push it away or distract yourself with more stuff to do. Just feel it fully and sit with it for a little while. The mind often carries this anxious energy, always wanting to be in motion, always finding something to do. Every problem you face, your mind jumps in, eager to find a solution to fix it and to make it go away. It wants to avoid pain and avoid uncomfortable feeling. But instead of letting the mind takes over, allow yourself to observe, be with your emotion, and observe how your mind tries to run away from the discomfort and the pain. While your body still remains still, watch how your mind scramble to escape or try to go somewhere else or get to somewhere else. It's actually very fascinating to watch your mind try to get you to do something, but you're not going with it. By doing this, you create space to notice your thoughts and feeling more clearly. And eventually, this restlessness will flow through you and burn itself out. Your mind will eventually settle and calm down. Because no matter what it tries, it's not working. You're just sitting there and observing your mind. This is so much better than distracting yourself on social media or with TV or game or whatever. I realize this myself whenever I feel restless and I go to search for information or entertainment. I often go down the rabbit hole, and instead of feeling better watching the TV shows or searching for information on the internet, I still feel the same icky feeling of restlessness. But if I just sit with my emotions and truly experience it, the feeling will naturally move through. And out of this stillness, something magical often happens. You might find yourself receiving inspiration, something that feels like a nudge from within, guiding you towards the next steps. This inspiration doesn't come from the mind chatter or the ego narrative like, I need to work on this problem, I need to do this. It comes from the spirit. It's more calm and reassuring and more definite. When your mind is quiet, you can finally hear what your spirit is calling you to do. Our spirit is always calling us, but when we are too consumed by the ego's noise, the constant narrative, the endless drama, we can't hear it. It's like you're trying to hear a soft melody in the middle of a very loud crowd. But when you return to neutrality, to stillness, you notice your spirit's soft yet powerful voice. And it really doesn't matter if you choose to do something or not do something. Some spiritual people may think that doing less is better, but spirituality has never been about whether you take action or not. It's about the intention and quality behind your actions. So ask yourself, are your actions driven by fear, greed, or attachment to a specific outcome? For example, are you working a 9 to 5 out of fear or anxiety? worried that if you don't, you won't be able to pay your bills? Or are your actions inspired by joy, love, and a deep sense of purpose? Are your actions inspired by your soul? When you act from inspiration without trying to control the result, your action carries a very different energy, one that is aligned with your soul. And this energy of doing and not doing comes and goes in waves. When you've been super productive, your spirit may call you to take a break or just be and sit with yourself. And if you have been doing nothing for a while, chances are your spirit might call you to get moving again. There is no fixed rule that spiritual people cannot do anything or just be and just sit there in meditative mode for the rest of their life. And I love to set goals for myself. And you know why? It's not because I want to reach them or I need to get any desires or accomplish my goals, but because it gives my mind something to focus on. The mind gets restless easily. It's, it's like a dog. You need to give it a bone to chew on. Like, if you don't, it will find something else in your life to chew on and spin stories around it. And that's where you get all this narrative like life is just meaningless. What's the point? When you set goals for your mind, you just have to make sure that those goals are aligned with your heart and soul. And when things don't go according to plan, don't get attached to the outcome and instead enjoy the process. Your mind needs structure, and spiritual awakening destroy that for your mind. So you have to build another structure for your mind. But now this time, your spirit is the leader, is the creator, not your mind. Before spiritual awakening, we were so used to living our life based on conditions. But now that we have stepped into our power as the creator and driver of our own life, it can be somewhat overwhelming. If you are feeling lost, watch this next video for guidance.